Good morning. Welcome. This is
Paul.
And I'm Richard, and the show is called
Sunday Chat!
Except it's Saturday morning.
Saturday Chat! For Sunday.
And it's too bloody early. Too bloody early.
I was I was awake very early. I was awake about 5 o'clock and I knew I wasn't going to get back to sleep.
Did you?
Yeah. I looked at the clock, it was about 5:15.
Normally you do. Normally you are snoring. When I'm trying to go back to sleep.
Oh.
But this morning it's like you've got a cold.
Yeah, it's really odd. I've been coughing and I've been sneezing. I've got a tickle in my nose now. But I don't feel as though I've got a cold. Yet I've got a bit of a runny nose. Just that one. Just that nostril. Very odd.
Yeah.
Because I haven't really been around anyone to catch a virus.
That's the thing.
When I have been out, I've had my mask on.
That's the thing, isn't it? I mean, and the air quality's, I don't think, been too bad. Because we've had a lot of wind.
A lot
of
wind.
Fresh air.
Yeah.
I mean, the weather has been changeable.
Well, extremely changeable.
Changeable. We've gone from heat and humidity to cool with humidity, down to normal summer temperatures, cool with high winds.
I mean, very high winds.
Very high winds.
For this time of year. Really, it really is. And I was saying to somebody at the plot yesterday that the winds are particularly high for this time of year. And they went, no, it's usually like this. It's usually like this.
It's not.
And then I was watching a forecast from the Met Office, and they were saying that it's unusually high winds.
Well, it was a storm. It was the tail end of a storm. We've had two storms.
Yeah.
We had Storm Sue Ellen. And you know why I call her Sue Ellen?
Why?
Because she's a complete and utter soak and ended up going down the gutter. I think that was more enjoyable than just plain old Ellen.
Well, yeah.
Storm Ellen. Oh,
yeah.
Really? She's boring.
And what was the other one?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was another one as well.
But we had the tail end of that. It's still breezy this morning, but it's beautifully blue.
Yeah, but I mean, that's been it throughout the week. If you watch A Week at the Plot, which will be uploaded on Monday, you'll see, like, one day it was really grey, the next day it was lovely blue skies and fluffy clouds, the next day it was grey and thundery and absolutely chucking it down with rain, the next day it was back to being sort of quite nice, and then we had that horrendous wind that just came in yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, Friday.
Lovely.
It will be.
And of course everything's still in leaf.
Everything is in leaf.
Well, not everything. Quite a few bits seem to be dropping.
Yeah.
I think it's the sycamore, although I've said that in my vlog and you've probably said that in your vlog as well. Everybody's saying it.
But the leaves are falling, but
it's
still,
not autumn.
No, it's not autumn. But I mean, even when I look out there's a birch outside our front house, outside the front of our house, and there's quite a few leaves that I can see on that are yellowing, which for 3/4 of the way through August is really, really early.
But it's not autumn yet. I saw somebody on some vlog saying, oh, it's autumn now. No, it's not. This is what happens when we have a dry summer.
It does,
Isn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, the trees get rid of leaves because they can't effectively deliver all the moisture and nutrients to the leaves. So they stop feeding the leaves and giving them moisture, so the leaves fall off.
But again, with all that rain, certain things appear to have greened up.
Yeah.
And appear to have put on a little bit of a growth spurt.
But
spurt. I like that word. Spurt.
Certain things at the plot are dying back already. I mean, our beans, our climbing beans in particular, some of those are dying back already. It's far, far too early for that to happen. But hey ho, you know, that's, yeah.
Anyway,
that's
let's get on with the show, shall we? First of all, I'd like to say a big bloody thank you to all our new subscribers who've recently joined, of which there have been many. Welcome.
Millions.
Millions. Billions.
Zillions.
From the solar system and beyond.
Trillions.
From all over the universe.
What's after trillions?
Trillion.
I don't know what's after trillions. Gazillions. It's not real. No.
Trillion, zillion, Gillian.
Gillian. Was that a Bible? Was Gillian a Bible?
No,
it's Gideon, wasn't it? Yeah, Gideon was a Bible.
The ones in the hotel rooms that nobody ever reads.
Yeah, yeah. I did find them quite useful. I find that there is a hotel with social farms and gardens that we go to that that still has them, and I find them quite useful actually.
As a paperweight.
Well, no, because you can put it on the bedside table, and it just lifts your you know, my tablet up a bit so that it's easier to watch.
Or as a coaster.
Well,
coffee
you
mug.
could use it. Yeah, good coffee mug. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
hundreds of uses.
Yes. So, thank you. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for watching, despite what you've heard about us.
What have they heard about?
I don't know. People spreading rumours and things.
Really? Oh, what rumours?
That we're gay.
Gay? Us? No.
Disgusting.
Absolutely not. Who could ever think that?
Yeah, there's a lot of it about these days. So, this week we do have a word of the week for you by popular demand.
I like word of the week.
Hold on, I've just got to remember how to say it. Okay, so the word of the week this week is absquatulate. Absquatulate or absquatulate.
Well, no, get it right.
Well, no, it could be late or lut. Yeah.
Absquatulate.
Absquatulate or absquatulate.
Something about, well, ab is sort of, oh no, maybe it's not definitive. I think it's when something is lost in squatting. When you lose something when you squat.
No.
Absquatulate. Scratcher. Is it when you're about to do a T-bar on a squash and you break it off and you absquatulate it so that it doesn't actually mature properly?
Nothing to do with gardening. Would I come up with a word of the week that was to do with gardening? I don't
think
I would.
Yes.
Absquatulate.
Absquatulate. No, I'm lost. It's not a sort of like one of the things they have Costa coffee, is it? Can I have an absquatulate?
No, Paul.
What is it?
So, the meaning of this word is to leave abruptly without saying goodbye. It's also known as a French exit.
A French exit. I didn't know that.
Well, there you go.
I didn't know that.
There we are.
I've absquatulated a few times in the past.
So have I.
Definitely. Definitely.
His absquatulation was noticeable.
Mine has been noticeable on a few occasions. Yeah. When was the last time I absquatulated?
I think I went to a party and left.
Oh, I've done that, yeah.
Without saying anything, because it was so noisy and busy that nobody would give a damn if you left anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you absquatulate.
Actually, I don't think I've absquatulated for... I think my last...
You haven't been anywhere, have you,
well,
to
no,
absquatulate
but I think
from?
my last might have been quite a few years ago. I remember...
Is there a story?
I remember my last visit to Groucho's, and I absquatulated then.
Good. I'm so pleased.
I did.
For you.
That was a couple of years ago. But yeah, but I don't think I've done that recently.
Well, you haven't been anywhere. We've just ascertained that.
Can you absquatulate on a call?
No.
On a conference call? Because I have done if you can. I've done that if you can.
His internet connection caused him to absquatulate.
That's a good one. Oh, I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that. Oh, sorry, I couldn't join the call. As soon as I joined, the internet connection went, so I had to absquatulate. Oh, yes, that's a fab one to use,
all right.
isn't it?
Now let's move on to the next bit.
Yeah. No, I like absquatulate. Yeah. I like that. I like that word of the week. I think that might be my favourite for quite a while.
Oh, I'm so pleased.
Yeah.
Good.
Will I remember it next week? Yeah, I think I will. Yeah.
So, Paul, in our other regular slot, what have we been watching on television this week? You've been watching some right old crap.
Well, it's not crap.
Relic Hunter.
I have been... we used to watch Relic Hunter.
Yeah, when it was kind of...
First out.
Which
was
the
20
only
years ago?
bloody thing on TV.
Which was 20 years ago, I think.
I think it was over 20 years ago.
Yeah. Anyway, it was about 20 years ago. We used to watch it and we used to quite enjoy it. And it's quite funny watching it again. Because
it's not aged well.
It's not aged well at all.
It's very dated,
really
isn't it?
It really hasn't.
But she's great. Tia Carrera, whatever her name is. Because she was in AJ and the Queen.
She is in AJ and the Queen.
Yeah, and she's brilliant. I mean, she's so funny in AJ and the Queen.
She's brilliant.
She's hysterically funny, and she's beautiful as well. But of course, she was a lot
younger and
trimmer in Relic Hunter, and she was the old, hey, yeah, chop chop, wasn't she?
There was a bit yesterday that we were watching, I was watching. Actually, you were watching it as well.
Yeah, but I was watching it and going in and out of
there was all
consciousness.
He was asleep on the sofa.
I had an afternoon nap.
But she was all doing a, sort of kickboxing and all of that in this rather elegant sort of French chateau's hallway
in Hollywood,
which was obviously in America. It's fantastic. It's like in Murder, She Wrote, when they go to these sort of Irish houses, country houses, or they go to a lovely English country house or Scottish country house, and it's so obviously America. But this one was just hilarious, and the accents, the French accents, were just terrible. But yeah, I mean, and Christian Anholt, who is
the son of Tony Anholt.
Tony Anholt,
who was in Space 1999.
Who was in Space 1999.
Yes.
Of course, I mean, he's still acting as well.
He is. He hasn't done a huge amount.
But again, it's 20 years later. I had to look him up on IMDb to see what he had done recently. He's been doing quite a lot of stage work. So
really?
But yeah.
Recently? I don't think he has.
Well, not in the last sort of 6 months, because hardly anyone's done any stage work in the last 6 months.
No.
So
good.
Which actually takes us on to We're Here.
Yeah, we finished watching that, and that series ended because of the virus.
Because of the pandemic.
Yeah. And we also, sticking with sort of drag queens, we also want to acknowledge the
sad news,
tragic news of the death of Chi-Chi DeVane.
Yeah.
Very, very sad. 34?
Very young. Very young.
Awful. So, yeah, very, very tragic. And she was in season 8 of Drag Race
and All Stars.
All Stars. So that was
very
awful
sad
news. Awful news. So rest in peace, Chi-Chi.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, We're Here. They went to the next town on the visit. There's 6 in this series. I don't know if there was meant to be more, but
probably.
There's 6 in the series. and they met the people that were going to do the drag, and then shortly afterwards lockdown came in. So effectively the 3 drag queens went back to their homes to self-isolate, and we pick up the story from there. And we pick up their stories really from there, don't we? Yeah. And I thought it was very well done. And I have to say, when you look at the finale of All Stars, which happened during this pandemic, and you look at this final episode of We're Here, it's done so well. It really is done so well. It's edited well. It's interesting. It's going back to sort of like the Joanna Lumley that we were talking about last week, her series of the unseen footage. I wonder how things are going to change going forward. Will they just want to sort of go back to how it was, or will there be more to camera pieces, more content that's driven by a person and their interaction with the screen, like obviously a lot of us YouTubers do? Or will it go back once social distancing finishes to the big, the big stages? It'll be interesting to see what happens. The film that I was going to be working on in September has also been put back. So yeah, that most probably won't be happening now till March. So there we are. Yeah.
Have you washed that recently, that hoodie?
Yes. Well, I haven't. You have. I think I was doing some shoveling of horse manure in it earlier in the week.
The other thing we watched, you made me watch, it's that bloody awful film.
Which one?
That drag film.
You wanted to watch that?
Life's a Drag When You're a Man in a Dress. Well, it was a bloody... Well, it was. It was pretty badly put together.
Well,
done on a shoestring, clearly.
10 minutes in, I said, I don't think this is very good. And Richard went, I think we should give it another 5 minutes.
Yeah, and then after those 5 minutes I said, yeah, you're right, this isn't great. Let's stop. And you said, I want to carry on with it now.
Well, the girl had arrived at that point, and I thought, actually, this girl arriving, and this is a young girl, a 12-year-old girl, would add to the story, and in fact it did. It
did, but she was absolutely rubbish.
Well, look, it was a low-budget film.
You're telling me low-budget? No-budget film.
It's on Amazon.
But the editing was the main gripe that I had. It could have been cut by probably 15 minutes.
Oh, it could definitely have been cut.
And
I think it was about 3.5 hours long.
No, it wasn't.
No, it was about 1:40, something like that.
But it was too long. It was edited poorly. There were angles that were really all over the place. I mean, I'm not a filmmaker, as you know, but all the way through it, I was thinking, well, that's wrong.
Yeah, that person's
right.
Talking to that person looking there, and actually they're over there.
But the angles aren't right,
were wrong.
And, I don't know.
I thought it was quite a nice storyline.
Lovely story. And
very odd ending.
Relatively good performances.
Yeah, I think once they got into it a bit, I think it was shot virtually in order. I think that first bit was shot, and then they mix things around a bit.
I mean, it's interesting because, I mean, personally, I'd love to make a film.
Well,
I'd love to make a feature. And when you... Let me speak, Paul. Don't interrupt. It's rude. When you watch films like that, you appreciate that it is difficult to make a film.
Mm.
It must be horrendously difficult to plan and to put together...
Storyboard.
And all of that. Well, not everybody knows what a storyboard is, Paul.
Well, that's why I was adding level to it.
Mm.
Plan/storyboard.
So you appreciate that, you know, you know how difficult it is. I know how difficult it is to edit sometimes when you've got something complex to put together. So, you know, we get that. But, I mean, if it's going to be released on Prime or Netflix, one would expect a certain level of quality.
No, but it won't. I mean, it won't have been made, I don't think, to be picked up by Prime or Netflix.
I didn't say it was. That's not what I said.
What were you saying? What did you mean to say?
If it's going to be shown on a platform like that, one would expect a certain quality.
What you're actually saying is when you watch a platform like Netflix or Prime, you expect a certain quality. That's what you mean.
That's what I said.
No, it's not what you said.
Well,
I mean, you know, I've worked on a number of things which have been made for different formats, and they can be quite specific. I mean, this was not made for a cinema release. There's no doubt about it.
I mean, it's more suited to YouTube.
Yeah, it is
really.
more suited. I mean, it may be on YouTube.
Yeah, it might be.
It may be on YouTube. But you see, the thing is, content is king, and there may be somebody at Amazon who said, oh, you know, drag is really, you know, in at the moment. Well, let's spend $100,000 on some drag shows, you know, some cheap drag shows.
Well,
and that could have been licensed for $5,000.
But let me give you an example of sort of like-for-like quality. Look at Tammy Brown.
Yeah.
Now, her little tiny mini-series that's on YouTube is absolutely, totally believable. It's been shot really well, but they're only like literally a couple of minutes long each.
But they've got budget behind them.
Not that much budget.
No, but they've got budget behind them. But
it's been made by people who aren't kind of in the industry as such.
Yeah.
You know, and it's kind of got a homemade vibe, but it's really well done, and very, very well acted and well edited. It makes such a difference.
It does.
To a story.
And on editing, I edit my videos. A lot of people seem to think that Richard edits my videos.
Oh God, no.
He would be bored.
You must be kidding me. I'd be asking you every 5 minutes, what's this bit? What are you saying here? Why are you doing that? That doesn't look any good. Blah, blah. No, it's just not possible. But give credit where credit is due. I did teach you how to edit.
You did teach me how to edit, and then I spent some time learning how to do it properly.
No, Paul.
I found out how to put banners on and things like that. No.
Well, with learning, it should always be a voyage of discovery.
It certainly is.
If you're not curious about something, you ain't going to learn it. So you cannot teach everything.
No.
You've got to allow people to go on a voyage of discovery, a journey, a learning experience, in order to fix that knowledge in that person's head.
He did say to me one day, I had something, I think I sneezed or coughed or something, and I took it out, you know, because you have the soundtrack and you have the video, and I sliced out the cough, but because there was background noise, when that bit was sliced out, it went silent, and it sounded really odd. And I said to Richard, oh, maybe I need to put the cough back in. And he said, no, just slice a bit of the other audio and paste it in. And that worked. I thought that so simple. I mean, obvious as well, but it wasn't obvious to me.
So, Superstore, we've been continuing with Superstore. Very funny. Very funny.
We're on series 4. In fact, we've gone... We're not watching it in order because it's not in order on what we're watching on ITV2. I mean, each series is in order, but we've seen part of series 5, I think, and we went back to series 2, and we're now on series 4. But there was an episode last night that was just so funny.
Yes, very good.
It was about
Paul.
Amy wanting to be a manager.
Yeah, we're not going into details about
it was so funny.
Favourite episodes.
Oh dear.
You can go on a voyage of discovery yourselves.
And the ice lollies.
So, yeah.
Oh, that was funny. Yeah. And the car park. Yeah. Oh, you have to watch it. Yeah. Next.
It was so cold this week that Paul made a curry.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of those throw together curries. I sort of decided to get the Instant Pot onto the top. I did chickpeas, and I knew we had some squash that needed using up in the freezer.
Oh.
And I added onions and the squash and the chickpeas, and it was really nice. You really enjoyed it.
I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed it, and we had it with Camargue rice.
Camargue rice.
That's what I said. Which is red rice.
It is red rice.
It's delicious. Absolutely delicious. Do you remember that dish I did years and years ago with Camargue rice and wild rice?
Yes, I do. I do.
That was delicious.
Wild rice, of course, is not rice.
No, it's not.
It's a grass.
Yes.
It's wild grasses that you cook as if they're rice. That was very nice.
Well, it's not the actual grass that you're cooking, is it?
No, it's the
grain
seed.
From
it's the seed.
The seed of the grass.
I don't know
Delicious.
where that's grown.
Don't know.
I don't know. Where Camargue rice is grown in the Camargue region of France.
Is it?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know why. I don't know why. It's one of those
Maybe you should research it, Paul.
Yeah, region-specific things that France is very good at.
Oh, good.
We're not very good at things like that. I mean, like cheddar, you know, cheddar should only be able to be called cheddar if it's made in cheddar. No. For Americans, cheddar is an area with lots of gorges and caves where cheddar cheese has been stored for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
And it should actually have a demarcation like France, in my opinion. You should only be able to buy cheddar cheese from cheddar. Otherwise it should be called cheddar style or something like that, I think, because it's not. And so much cheese that you buy these days is sort of plastic.
Well, Stilton.
Soft.
Stilton.
Yeah.
Should only come from Stilton.
Stinking Bishop. That's got a demarcation, I think.
To where?
To where it's made.
Which is where?
I don't know. Somerset, isn't it?
Don't start with the accents, Paul.
I don't know if Melton Mowbray pork pies are only. Can they only be cooked in Melton Mowbray?
Dunno. Dunno.
Dunno.
So, what else did you want to say, Paul? You said you were going through seeds.
Yes, I have now planned all of the seeds that I'm growing for vegetables next year. Our next season, which for us starts in October with the planting of garlic and also onions. And in fact, when I was doing my research, I'm going back to doing Shakespeare onions. And when I was doing the research, I couldn't really find that many Shakespeare onions. I couldn't understand why, because they were a really good onion. Only to find out it's had a name change and it's now called Autumn Champion. So I now know where I can get my Shakespeare / Autumn Champion onions from. Yeah, so I've done my lists of what I'm going to be growing next year, the vegetables I'm going to be growing. The only flower seed I've got down at the moment is calendula, because I'm going to do a calendula bed like Vivi does. So I'm doing that. But I've also marked not only what I'm growing, but where I'm going to get the seeds from or if they're save seed, or if they're old seed. So one thing I'm going to be doing over this weekend is going through Bertie and a couple of other seed boxes, little seed boxes we have, and sorting out what seed I'm going to send on to various community gardens. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. And I'm going to be looking at flowers as well, because now's a good time to sow certain flowers for next year.
Oh, how interesting.
So, yeah.
Lovely.
I do like getting ahead. I'm quite pleased I've sort of planned what I'm growing. In which beds it's going to grow, I'm not sure. That's my next
Well, I
thing.
think you should definitely sort out that so-called flower bed, really, which had flowers in it for 5 minutes.
No, it had flowers in for 2 months.
Yeah, but it wasn't what I imagined it to be.
Did you come down and work on it?
I came up with the concept of having a flower bed.
But we have now had confirmation from the plot holder that has our old plot that we can take up some of those Achillea and Verbena and Rudbeckia and plant those into that flower bed.
I think we should take some doodahs from the garden, some
Crocosmia. Yeah, Crocosmia.
And some spring bulbs, maybe some gladioli.
Oh, definitely gladioli.
Maybe
I love
a couple of
gladioli.
hollyhocks.
Oh, I've got hollyhocks to sow, and also something else which is like a hollyhock. I can't remember what it is now, but I'll be sowing that this week. But yeah, so I mean, it was the first year, and I was hoping the Oxeye Daisy, which would still be flowering now, would do well, but they're the only thing that got eaten by slugs and snails. And they got just decimated. And all the things like feverfew and all of that, they've gone over. I need to tidy that bed now, take away the seed heads from the poppies and also the Phacelia, and spread those seeds over the flower bed. Oh, oh, oh. Itch. Gone. Yeah, so I'll be doing that this week as well. But yes, we have no summer colour in there at all, which is a shame because it was so full of colour up to about sort of the end of June.
And then it died.
Well, they were all spring things, so they all died, yeah. There are some little pansies coming back with a little bit of colour.
Good. Lovely. Well, I think that's it for this week.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
A quick one this week.
Just a quick one.
We haven't been out to do a lot. That's why. And you've been decorating so much, haven't you?
I've been decorating like a bitch.
Yeah. And yesterday you did the bits that you enjoy doing, which is sort of moving things around and dusting them and placing them in different places.
I was actually cleaning a few objects that really, really needed a clean. Hadn't been cleaned properly. Where, you know, sit the object on your lap, get some cloths and just clean. That's what I was doing.
That exhausted...
Oh, it was exhausting.
Him so much.
It was exhausting.
Had a 3-hour nap in the afternoon.
It wasn't 3 hours.
It was 3 hours.
No, it wasn't.
It was 3 hours.
Well, I needed it.
You
so
did
what?
need
Who
it.
gives a damn?
You did need it. I don't know why I woke up at 5 o'clock.
I don't care.
That was really annoying.
So that's it for this week. What was that?
What was that? Must be somebody getting in a car or something.
So, that's it. Thank you, bloody thank you for watching.
Richard's going to edit this now.
I am going to edit it.
I'm going to go down to the plot and do some... Oh no, I've got a loaf of bread rising, so I need to cook that first. And
Good.
then I'll be going down to the plot and doing a few things.
So, thank you very much for watching. Take care. Toodaloo, toodlepip. Au revoir. And we'll see you very soon. I might do a vlog in the week. I might not.
I think you will, yeah.
I'd quite like to do my household styling tips.
Oh, you've been making lots of notes on
Lots
that.
of notes. And also my photography tips as well. Yeah, I'm going to be working on them. Those videos take a little bit of preparation because they're not always stream of consciousness.
No, no.
So, you know, you have to do a little bit of planning to provide something of quality.
But people will be really looking forward to your tips, won't they?
Yes.
Yes, they will.
Goodbye.
Bye.